Okay, this video I'm going to show you how to place doors and windows, and it's real simple. Again, I like to use existing geometry to do this with. It's just, I don't know, just the way I do things, I guess. But let's say here's a bedroom. We need a door on it, obviously. And of course, remember, we want there to be some space between the corners or the edges of the wall and where the door frame begins, because we want to have plenty of space to make that door frame and also to make any trim that goes around it to make it look all nice and homey. Okay, so we put about 3 to 6 inches between the wall and the door itself, and that depends on the size of your trim. Check out your trim. You should already know what type of trim you're going to use and what size it is. So I'm just going to use the 3-inch distance. I know the trim that I've used a lot, it's a little bit, just slightly less than 3 inches. So that gives me plenty of room to put that trim in the door. Okay. Sometimes you might even want a little bit more of a gap between the trim and the wall. That is up to you. Okay. So here we go. We're going to do some offsetting here. Again, I'm going to put a door right here. So I want the offset from the wall. I'm going to make it 3 inches. So I'm going to offset this line 3 inches from this wall right here. Okay. And it's going to be placed right here. That's where my door is going to start. All right. Then I'm going to offset the width of my door. And this is going to be the rough width. Okay, when you go shopping for your door and you make your door schedules and all, you'll see that your doors, now I'm going to make mine 32 inches for the rough width, but you'll see that your doors may come in at like 31 inches or 31 and 5/8 inches or whatever. But just go ahead and make that rough space 32 inches. Okay, so I'm going to offset the line that I offset previously. I'm going to offset 32 inches. All right, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to move both of those lines. I'm going to select both of them and select a base. It doesn't matter where your base point is, because this is what you're going to do. You're going to use this. Now those are going to be your cut lines to make that door swing or make that door passageway. Okay, so trim. And we obviously want to trim this stuff out. Oops, I didn't hit the right buttons there. Okay, so trimming this out right here. There's my doorway. I don't need this stuff out here either, so I'm going to get rid of that. And I don't need these either, so I'll get rid of those. So now I have my doorway. Next thing I want to do is actually make a door. And you actually do your windows the same way. You're going to put your windows right here, and you're going to use the same process. Or if you want to, you can simply just draw some lines that are going to be the rough width of your windows and slice out that geometry that way. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go to the window layer. Well, actually, I don't need to go to the window layer yet, but might as well. Anyway, I'm just going to use a line. I'm going to find the approximate center. Let's see, those are 11 feet, so I really need about, what, 5.5 feet, so 5 feet 6 inches to be the center. And we could type that in. And it'd be right there. Okay, so that's going to be the center of my window. Now what I'll do, my rough width of this window is going to be 3 feet wide. Same thing goes there. The windows that you purchase, well, of course, they may be wider. If they are wider, then you need to make your hole wider for the windows to fit in them. You need to go by the rough width of the window, and I'll show you how to do that. But the particular windows that I might be using in this location may not be quite 3 feet. They may be 2 feet 11 inches or something like that. So I am going to make this the rough width, which will be 3 feet. So I'll offset this in 2 different directions. That's the center line. So I'm going to offset it to 1.5 feet. Offset it that way. Offset it that way. Okay. Now I can go and start trimming some of that stuff out. So I'll go to trim. Okay, my computer is like freezing up here. Let's see. Let me get my mouse back here. Should get it back here in a second. Okay, there we go. All right. Anyway, so hopefully I'm still in the trim tool. I'm not. And I think what's happening here is the hatching of my window, of my wall is kind of slowing things down there a little bit. So with with AutoCAD acting this way, and I'll make sure I bring this to your attention, but let's not worry about hatching these walls. And I think I figured it out here. Trim, select objects. Because there are so many lines in here, I'm just gonna select those, enter, and then everything I want from between that right in there. So just different ways of using your trim tool. And I'm going to erase these. And actually I deleted my hatch when I did that, but that's okay because I think that's going to be better anyway. So I'll try to bring that to your attention. If I remember not to just skip the hatch that's inside the bricks there, inside the brick wall. You can actually add it later. Probably simpler to add it later. But again, do some more trimming. And I'm always never quite hitting the right keys here. I guess I should slow down. Okay. I didn't erase those like I thought I did. All right, and of course you can get rid of this line because you don't need that anymore. And you can trim these up because you don't need those anymore, like so. Now you have a hole for your window. Now to make the representative portion of the window, there's different symbols you can use to represent different types of windows. Just for the basic double hung window, what I start with is I'll start with a line. Go to the line tool here and just find the center point right there and bring it right over here to that other side and just offset it in both directions. Offset it like 1.5 inches or something like that. Even 2 inches will work, especially on a brick wall. So 2 inches that way and 2 inches that way. Now we have our double hung window. And there's other things you can do to dress this up. If you know that you're going to have like some trim that sort of sticks out from the wall, you can actually go ahead and add that as well. Simply by doing this, and however much of trim you want. Strictly up to you. Okay. There you go. And another way of also representing that trim. Let me do this. I didn't really think of showing you this. But sometimes that trim sticks out of the wall, but also kind of overlaps it kind of wraps around the wall outside of it. So I could actually do something like this. Okay, come over here about 1 inch or so. And we don't want to stick it out too far. Okay, and I'm just going to guess. Now you want to get the measurements correct on both sides. You don't want one side being one distance and one side being the other. Okay, so there. You may have something that looks like this, where the trim kind of sticks out and sort of envelops the outside part of the wall. And you can even put that on a different color. Keep it on the same layer with your windows, but you can make it a different color as well. And to the inside sometimes with trim and what have you will also overlap some, and you can go ahead and represent that. Here's another way of representing that, is just simply to draw just little rectangles over here on the sides. Okay, like so. And then what's really easy about that is you can just mirror that geometry right there. Okay, and find the center point, and there you go right there. And of course I didn't draw the bottom little piece of geometry on there, which I know that you will. And that's actually kind of small for trim. I wasn't really paying attention to how big I was drawing that. But anyway, that's how you would do it. That is the methods that you could go through to do that. One other thing, shouldn't take but a second here, and that is your door swing. So going to our doors and going to our yellow layer, you know, whichever side we want the door to be on, it would make more sense for it to be over here on this side on this particular room. So I am going to start, you can do a rectangle. That's one thing you can do. Or, you know, you can do just lines. Okay, so I'm going to start with a rectangle here. I'm going to draw my door. I know I want my door, it looks like in the X position, or the X direction. Now pay attention to your dynamic input, because I'm going in the opposite direction on that X axis. So I need to use negative numbers here. So I'm going to use negative 32 inches. And I did not type that in correctly. Okay, so my door is going to be negative 32 inches. Now I need to tab over to my other direction. That's my thickness of my door. Thickness of your door, probably about 2 inches. That part is not extremely crucial. And of course I didn't do that one in the right direction either. So what I can do is move this polyline down here where it should be. That's where your door should be. Okay, again, beauty of software, easy to correct. And then of course lastly we have our door swing, and I'm terrible with arcs as far as knowing which way they're gonna swing when I do them. But you can do 3-point arc. I like to do the start, what is it, start, end, and then radius right here. So I'm going to start here, end here, and there's my radius. And of course, as you see, I need to go in the other direction. Somebody was telling me there's a way to flip this, but I don't remember how to do it. So I'll just try that again. This time I'll start here and go this way. All right, so get you a good tangent door swing in there. Something like that right there. Okay, so now you got your door and your door swing, and you're all set to go. That's how you do doors and windows. Okay, and have fun with those. Make some really creative windows. If you need to know if you have some different types of windows you want, you need to know what the symbols are or how to put them in there. Just use the internet and look them up. All the different symbols online. We also have them in our textbooks in class. We have different symbols that you can use for different types of windows. But that's it. That's how you do that.